welcome back to another episode of Whitney's World podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Morgan Ward, and I'm so thankful that you've tuned in wherever you're at on this planet. Thank you so much for joining in. Today, I really want to talk about something that has been heavy on my heart. Every week, I really try to share what I'm going through, but also share from a place of my intuition, what my higher self is talking to me about, what I see in my meditations, like really what I feel that I'm being led to share is really what I focus on sharing with you guys. So this week, I want to talk about taking the leap and making the move. When I post videos like this, on my social media accounts, I feel like I get the most impressions. I really feel like we are at a time and place in our society where people are really wanting to step into their power. People are really wanting to make big life changes, but we are crippled in fear and we are so unsure of ourselves. And it really makes me sad because that is not what we are supposed to do. But we also have not been taught to trust ourselves. We have not been taught to trust in the universe and to trust in the process of life. We have really been controlled and brought up like worker bees and to feed the system. But I know that there is a big paradigm shift happening. I know there are a lot of people that are waking up as I have been waking up and I've been on my spiritual awakening. It has been the greatest thing that I ever have embarked on. And I just really feel this burning passion to continue doing what I'm doing, to keep opening up, to keep sharing as much as I can, and to keep really pushing society forward with the best that I can, with the best knowledge that I have. I am extremely dedicated to this path. I am extremely dedicated to being in service of others, and it's really lit my soul on fire. And it's caused me to kind of see my world completely different. I want new things now. I want different things. I don't want the things that I wanted in my 20s. And I think that's just a testament of personal growth. I think that's a testament of growing spiritually, growing as a human. And I really want to encourage you guys that if you are on this path, you can do the same thing. And it is calling you for a reason. If you have desires in your heart, the desires are there because they really want you to live them out. You don't just have desires to not have them be fulfilled. So just remember that if there's something in your life that is really calling you and you're really scared, just know that that's normal, but you can overcome it and you are meant to overcome it. So do not allow the fear of anything to cripple you and to keep you stuck. We come to this beautiful, amazing planet to grow and expand ourselves, to evolve. And it is the biggest lie that we're ever told, that we need to stay small. We need to stay in the same place, in our same towns that we grew up in, with the same people, doing the same things, with the same jobs, and not really growing and not really experiencing life and seeing what there is out there. The time that we live in is so different, and we do have so many opportunities at our fingertips, literally, like with our phones. But again, so many of us are just living in victim mode, thinking, well, that could never happen to me. It's too hard. I could never do it. And I'm here to really tell you that that is a lie and that you need to stop believing that and believe in yourself and bet on yourself and take the leap, because you do not want to live your whole life and then realize on your deathbed that you really wish you wouldn't have cared about what people thought. You wish that you would have followed your heart's desires. And that is really what I feel so many of us now are waking up to, and we are really wanting to follow that. So I want to start by giving you guys an insane statistic that I came across today. A 2022 survey by the journal Social, Psychological, and Personality Science found that 75% of people reported that their biggest regret in life were about not taking chances. 75% of people that are in this poll, and just so you know, there are 13,000 people across 19 countries that are in this statistic. 75% of 13,000 people said that their biggest regret in life was not taking chances. So I'm not sure if that is a wake-up call to you, but that is absolutely a wake-up call to me. And it is really just a testament that we need to believe in ourselves and our dreams again. We need to realize that the desires on our heart are meant for us. And if they're calling you, it is your duty to do everything that you can to pursue those. And something that I really want to also talk about when it comes to taking a leap and making a move is that it's really hard to change who you are by staying in the same place. I moved, if you know my story, I'll briefly tell you, I moved from Colorado to Florida. I lived in Colorado for 20 years, and I moved back to Florida just over 2.5 years ago. When I lived in Colorado, I was a full-time realtor. I was a major party girl. I loved partying. I was wild and crazy is probably a good way to describe it. And I needed to wake up. I wasn't listening. I was continuing to go down a self-fulfilling prophecy of serving myself. And in that, I was really sabotaging myself, which I didn't know any of this until I actually started to wake up when I moved. But I was not going down the path that my soul wanted me to go down. So my world came crashing down, and I had two choices: to stay there and try to figure out my life, or move back home to Florida, the Sunshine State, and restart my life with nothing, and in one of the worst real estate markets since I've been a realtor since 2017, and to restart. What I can tell you is doing this, making the move and taking the leap and taking a bet on myself is absolutely 100% the greatest thing I ever in my life did. When I moved to Florida, I was broken. I was extremely terrified. I was extremely scared. I was really facing a lot of hurt and pain from my personal life and one of my ex-boyfriends. If you want to hear that story, you can go to episode 51 where I talk about all of that and the trauma that I endured. I don't really like talking about it like too much just because it's a long story, but I did tell that entire story. But I really had to face myself when I moved and look within and figure out why I had allowed myself to go down the path that I went down for so long. And when I decided to move and take the leap and bet on myself and restart, trusting in myself and God or the universe, however that resonates with you, that I was going to be taken care of. I can't tell you, like, it's the best thing I ever did. And it was the scariest thing I ever did, but it was absolutely necessary for my path and for me to wake up. And as I moved, I have embraced now a spiritual journey and my intuition. I'm learning about intuition and just really diving into manifestation. And there's just so many beautiful things when you separate yourself from your old life and you choose to go down a path of a new life for yourself. It is absolutely insane what is on the other side for you. And so if you've come across this video, you're probably facing this right now. You're probably at a crossroad where you want to move, you want to take the leap. I mean, I am too in my own life, again, facing this. But the more that you do take the leap, the easier it gets. But the cool thing about you taking the leap on yourself and in your own life is that you are going to make it. And if your intuition or your gut or your heart is telling you that is the path that you should take for yourself, because when you take the leap, the universe, God, source, whatever that is for you is going to catch you. But if you have these feelings, your higher self is trying to lead you and guide you, but you have free will in this life. So if you do not choose to do what is calling you, that is your choice. Your higher self is still going to be there, happy and living in bliss. It is you in this physical realm that has to experience the life that you choose for yourself. Whether you decide to stay the same or you decide that you want something new and you're ready and you're willing and you are sick and tired of your circumstances and your reality, that you realize it's your responsibility and you're going to make the choice. And I just want to encourage you that as you do step out and you really do decide, like, yep, I'm going to move, I'm going to get the new job, I'm going to start a business, whatever it is for you, just know that if the desire's on your heart, it is meant for you. Now, a lot of people are like, well, what if I fail? Well, what if you fly? See, we're programmed to think the worst case scenario, but what we need to realize is we need to reprogram ourselves. We have been programmed by society, by our families, by the school system to think small and to think that everything outside of us is controlling our lives. It's your responsibility to reprogram your own mind and to realize that your life is in control of the thoughts that you think and the choices that you make. So, what if you fly? You know, when I started this podcast, I was absolutely terrified. I'm like, what if I say something and I mess up? What if no one listens? What if I get canceled? What if dude, all of these negatives. But because I did it, I took the leap. I did it. I jumped. I believed in myself. I took a bet on me, Whitney. My path and my purpose is now being shown to me. And now the old things that I wanted and the old version of me is no longer there because I jumped, I leaped, and now it's like, oh my God, I can fly here. I am flying. So if you're going to take the leap, you have to believe in yourself and know that you might not understand why, but there is this burning desire inside of you. And I'm telling you from my own experience that following that feeling is the most important thing, if not the only thing that you should do and focus on. Because as you start to listen to your intuition, follow your heart, you start to realize that you are now connecting and in alignment with your soul. And it goes as simple as you're watching YouTube and a new video pops up, not immediately turning it off and turning something on, but realizing like, maybe I should listen to this video for 10 minutes and see if it's something that I need, because this life is like a giant treasure hunt. And even in scriptures and religious text, it says like, when you seek, you find. And as you start to go down the path of taking the leap, making the move, doing the thing, and taking a bet on yourself, you're going to start becoming aware, because you are doing things you never did before. And therefore you have to become aware, because you're like, I have to pay attention to what's actually happening, because you're living in the unknown, which is where all the magic happens anyway. So I want you to know that this is going to be an unfolding of probably your life's purpose. But if you continue to just think about the thing and never take action on it and never do it, you're going to just think about it forever. And then you're going to be 75% of the people that say their biggest regret in life was not taking chances. When you realize that this world that we live in is about evolving and growth and expansion, you realize that you are meant to take chances. You are meant to try things. And failure, which we are all so programmed that is like the death of us, is the biggest lie. Because here's the thing, there is no failure unless you don't get up. You have to keep going. But you realize that even though maybe something didn't work out like you thought, the beautiful thing is that you were shown a new path. You were introduced to someone that led you to something new. You were in the right place at the right time, which actually unfolded the thing that you're really meant to go down. But if you would have never taken the leap in the first place, your treasure hunt would never even be started. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen Outer Banks, but if you haven't, you guys should definitely check that show out. I am not a big TV person. I don't really have time to watch TV, but Outer Banks is on Netflix, and I'm not going to tell you, obviously, because I don't want to give it away, but it's about a group of high schoolers, and they basically start going on this treasure hunt. And I realized as I was watching this show that not every time, but when they needed something or there was a clue they were trying to figure out, somehow, some way, the universe opened for them. And I realized, like, as I was watching that show, that's actually what happens to us in our real lives when we do start to follow our intuition and our heart, and we really do allow our lives to guide us. But again, we are all so programmed to fear change, to make us stuck and miserable and hate our lives. But also, we don't see anyone else doing anything around us. So you have to be the catalyst. You have to be the one that steps up and is like, I am sick and tired of this life. I am sick and tired of the victim mentality I am living in, and I'm going to change it. And as you start to trust in yourself and you start to take the leap and bet on yourself, you are going to change the lives of the people around you. You are going to be the inspiration for the people around you that realize, like, oh my God, if they can come from nothing and make something, or they can go from an abusive relationship to having a soul-led business now and helping people, maybe I can follow my desires and dreams. So you have to realize that by you making the conscious decision to start following your heart and being a conscious creator on this planet, you are going to inspire the people around you. And that is what this is all about. We are creating our own reality, but we are also all co-creators of the reality. And if you want the world to change, you have to go change yourself in order to be a part of the world changing. But see, so many people want to sit here and complain and bicker about how horrible the world is and how all the elites are taking over and blah, blah, blah. But you don't want to change. And you're not willing to get uncomfortable to make the changes in your own life so that you can make a difference and you can be the one that inspires other people, but also changes your life so that you can live out your purpose, so that you can come to planet Earth and actually get out of this cycle and break out of the matrix in order to live aligned to who you're meant to be and in alignment with your higher self. When I moved, I was living in a huge victim mentality. And I mean, it's understandable for like what I went through. And technically I was a victim, but then I decided like I can continue down this victim mentality, or I can realize, okay, he paid for what he got. And now I can move on and I can actually become the hero of my story instead of just being a victim. Boo-hoo me. Oh, look what happened to me. My life sucks. Someone took all this shit from me and I'm not in control. When I moved, I had to stop looking and pointing my finger at my ex and say, why did I even allow myself to date someone like that? Why would I even allow myself to be with someone like that? So then where did the finger go? It went from there to here. And that's what led me on a soul's journey. That's what gave me my spiritual awakening, because I realized that I wasn't living in honor of me. I had not given any self-worth to me, and I was allowing my external circumstances to control my life. And so when I had a realization that I cannot continue to point the finger at him, I need to heal what's inside of me so that I will never in my life let anyone or a man treat me like that again. And also, I can wake up and I can open myself up and I could be a messenger and let people know that even if someone takes things from you and tries to destroy you, there are limiting beliefs inside of you. There is something inside of you that you need to heal and look at and realize that you're not a victim of your life, that you are creating, good or bad, what is happening in your life. When you take the leap and you decide to move across the country, or maybe you live in a place where it snows and you want to move to the beach and you're like, I'm going to do it. First of all, this is confirmation that you should do it. And what's crazy, and I don't even like to say this because I just believe so much in the power of manifestation, but I want you to know this, and this should keep you safe. And you need to tell yourself this, that even if you decide to move, and let's say you fail because you don't get up, you can go back. But at least you tried. And I guarantee you, if you do the thing and you start to learn along the way, you're not going to need to go back. Maybe you'll want to move again, because that's what I want to do. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. I want to be in a bigger city. And I'm working towards that. But I'm ready again to move. And what's crazy is, like, when you become a realtor, they tell you, like, oh, you're stuck there for life. And there are so many realtors I know that are stuck, and I don't know how many, but I would say most of the people that I still talk to from Colorado don't even want to be there anymore. So it's also a lie that you can't do something and have a successful business somewhere and then move and just do it again in another place. But so many people are just so afraid. They don't want to restart, and that's fine. But you're not going to grow the way you should grow if you don't move and you don't change. We have 4 seasons a year, every single year. If that is not enough proof that we are meant to constantly be changing, I don't know what else to tell you. Because it is a lie that we have been sold, that you go to college, you get a degree, you do that job until you're 60 and then retire when you're decrepit and old and fat and miserable and you hate your life. And we need to wake up. That is a lie. That is not the truth. That is not why we came here. So you have to make the choice, though. You can either live a miserable life and continue to spiral. What if you fly? So when I moved, I became obsessed with EDM music, and I've shared that. And I love it because EDM music is the highest vibing music out there. I used to listen to all that trash rap and that low energy, low vibrational music. And when I moved, I literally cannot listen to it anymore. I can't. And if you want to complain about the elites, but you're still listening to that, then I don't know. I think it's really time to wake up. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. So I became obsessed with EDM. There's a song, which I'm going to link on the show details, but it's called Flying Lessons by Lucid, Luzcid. And this song I played on repeat for months and months and months. And I listened to it when I was starting my podcast, when I was like in my phase, because it took me 6 months to start it and release it, because I was, just like you probably are, I was afraid. And I was in my mind, what if? What are people going to say? What are people going to think? What if I don't know? How am I going to have content? How am I going to think about something and think about every week? Like, I was spiraling, but I just took a bet on myself and I did it. And this song, he says, what if you fly? And I just kept listening to that and listening. And that was part of my reprogramming myself was, what if I fly? But you don't know unless you take the leap. You don't know if you're going to fly unless you do the thing that's calling you. And if you do not like your life, or you are really wanting a change, it is on you and only you. No one is going to give you a handout. No one is going to take things away from you. It is you. You are the one controlling your reality. So you have to realize that if you want to make a difference in your life, it is you. And you have to believe in yourself. You have to trust in yourself. You have to know that if you have these feelings, it is your higher self leading you down a path that you should go. But again, 75% of people don't do it. And that is their biggest regret in life. 75%. And also, I think one of the biggest fears is the judgment of other people. Who cares what other people think? And I really am talking to myself, but also like, I need you to hear this, because I had this realization probably a year ago when I was releasing my podcast about, I was so worried about what people in my past would think of me, because I used to not be this version. Today I haven't drank in 17 weeks. I used to drink every day. I was drunk all the time, and I was a huge stoner. So I was literally just completely detached from my own self and my own body. But I remember just like, what are people going to think of me? Who am I to do this? And I really just sat with myself, and I had to realize, like, the people that I'm so worried about have their own issues. The people that you are so worried about casting judgment on you are not thinking about you. They're thinking about their own shitty life and their own life that they don't even like. And most people don't even believe in themselves, so they're not going to believe in you. So who even cares? Who cares is you. What matters is you, your life, your purpose. And you know what? When you do make it, and when you do break out of the matrix, and when you do create something for yourself that's soul aligned, then they're going to care. And then they're probably going to want to work with you. They're probably going to reach out to you and be like, how did you do it? So it's all an unfolding. But until you allow it to unfold, you will stay stuck. You will stay small. You will stay living in fear. You will stay trapped. You will stay a victim to your life until you realize, like, no, I'm tired of this shit. I want to break out of this. I want to open myself up. I am meant for more. I did not come here to live a small, miserable life. And you're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to have to do something different than other people in your reality are doing, because you're going to do something different. You're going to be the one to lead the movement. You're going to be the inspiration that inspires other people. If you can do it, they can do it. But you have to know that, like, it's all about taking the leap, moving, making the change, doing the thing that literally scares you so much. But on the other side, the grass is greener. On the other side, the higher version, the highest version of you is waiting. And for me, I could have never started my podcast and shifted into this new version of myself if I still lived in Colorado. Like if I was still surrounded by all the friends I had, because I was living a toxic life. So for me, to get here, I had to move. And that's why my world came shattering down. It all happened. It was an unfolding. It was part of the plan. But I still could have stayed there. Do you know the amount of realtors and friends I had being like, what are you doing moving? Like you created a business that is basically running by itself now. What are you doing? I'm like, I have to go. I had no choice. I mean, I had a choice, but like my soul knew, like I didn't have a choice. I didn't know at the time. I just thought that I was going to die, to be honest. And really like die inside, but also I was actually scared for my life, so that's cool, but not really. I'm being sarcastic. It's not cool. But again, like everything that happened has been a blessing. It has been the biggest blessing ever because it woke me up. And sometimes your world has to shake you to your core to wake you up. To be like, yo, we're not living the life we came here to live. So could we like get on track for that? And then everything you want is going to happen. All the desires that you want are going to unfold. But like you got to move, you got to jump, you got to take the leap, you got to do something. And that's the truth. And life is hard. Believe me, I have my own struggles and my own stuff I'm dealing with. But life is so beautiful. And there's so much opportunity waiting for you once you break free and you crack open your shell and you jump out of there and you realize like the old me isn't who I want to be anymore. There's a new version. There's a 2.0 version of me. But you don't get to the 2.0 version of you unless you consciously make the decision to head towards the 2.0 version. And again, 75% of people in this world, 19 countries, will never see the 2.0 version. That's insane. Like we need to really wake up and change that. Because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help humanity. And it sure as hell doesn't help the children. And the children, in my opinion, right now, are the ones suffering the worst right now. So if we don't wake up as the adults and the movers and the shakers and the ones that are responsible, we are going to pass our world down to the little beings. And they're going to continue in the same cycle we've continued on for the past, 200 years? So just please do it for you. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't think about them. This is your life. And so many people, like all the people that questioned me when I moved, will do the same for you. Just do it. Just say, I have to go. It's calling me. I moved and then I started my podcast, and there's, other things that now I keep telling only very few people in my life on some goals I'm working towards, but I'm like, I have to do it. It's calling me. I can no longer go against the things that are burning inside of me, because I've learned that this is the path I'm supposed to take, because I've taken the path and I see the fruits. I see the seeds I'm planting. I see the harvest. I'm like, "Oh my God. I get it now." And now it's my responsibility to share that and to tell you that it is real. It is meant for you. So be the 25% of people that do it. Don't be the 75% of people that their biggest regret in life is not taking risks and not taking chances. You are meant, we are all meant to live a life full of growth and expansion. So be the one that does it. Because again, when you do it, you will inspire others, and they will see by you that they can do it too. And you will lead a movement, and you will also be led to your soul's purpose. You'll probably be led to starting a new business or a company or getting an invention that breaks you free. And then you can help other people. We are, again, creating our reality, but we are also co-creating this reality. We need all of us. We need all of us. So that's it for today, everyone. Shine bright, as my coffee mug says. I really hope this resonated with you. I really want you guys to know that when I am talking and I have no notes, the only note I had was the statistic. This is all coming from my heart and soul, and I'm really trying to challenge myself because I get stressed out sometimes with making sure that what I'm going to talk about is on point. But I don't know, there's something in me recently that I feel like I'm being kind of called to just when a topic is downloaded to just start talking. And it's really cool because it gives me another level of confidence, but also I'm learning that I can trust myself on a deeper level. And it is cool because I get to see all the internal knowledge coming out of me. And also I feel like me and my higher self are doing this together, because I do feel like I'm called to this. I do feel like this is my purpose, is to just talk about these things and open myself up. So I'm not saying that, I'm not going to ever have notes again, but it is cool. It's a testament that when you do follow your heart and you open yourself up and you just keep going, your life starts to become different in such a good way. So I really hope that wherever you're at, whoever's listening to this, that this really resonated with you. I would love for you to put in the comments, if you're contemplating moving, why, anything you want to share with me. I would love to connect with you. And I am just such a believer in this, and believing in the true way to change your life is to bet on yourself and to take the leap. And if you are stuck or worried, DM me. I would love to chat with you. I would love to see if there's anything I could do to help you. But just know that you can do it. And if the desire's on your heart, like it's on your heart for a reason. So stop spiraling with the negative what ifs and start thinking about all the positives. What if you meet your husband or your wife? What if you start a new soul-led business? What if you are introduced to someone that opens you up to a whole new world? What if you meet your new best friend? What if you move to a city and you get to live in the most beautiful home? Like, there are so many things to look at in an abundant, beautiful way, but you have to change your mind. You have to reprogram yourself. So, what if you fly? What if you fly? I can't wait to hear from you guys. I hope you have a great week. Please make sure you guys connect with me on TikTok and Instagram. It's Whitney Morgan Ward or Whitney's World _222. I would love for you guys to follow me. I'm really working on like putting myself out there. I'm focusing on TikTok right now. So just creating content and videos and trying to get better with my hooks and my messaging. So it's fun. I'm like in my own exploration. I'm in my own growth phase right now. And literally, as I am talking to you guys, I am doing the same thing. So I needed this just as much as hopefully you needed it. So I love you guys very much. Thank you so much. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is growing, so thank you to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you next week, and as always, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go.
Journey to the end. I see your universe collide from deep within. Let me take your stars and rearrange it grand. Under lights I see the detail of your skin. Slowly while you drip, I hear you call, I'll be on time, I won't forget. She told me let me hold your heart, I got a test. She grabbed my hand and take the breath out of my chest. Take me, undress me, I think I can make you glow. Take me, undress me, I think I can make you glow.
One at a time, she slowly reclined. I'm tracing the skin, she poking ideas of love in my mind. Till I find a rhyme, a reason to float. Under her wings, she handed me hope. I don't think I know, but I may go grab it. Not feeling the havoc or panic from damages under my soul. She tell me let go. I wanna know all your fears in the depths of the links of your soul. How deep do it coast? Where does it end? At the bottom of worlds I ain't been to before. I think we should go. I told her hold on, we bored in the journey, most can't take the toll. There's no turning back here, so grab on my waist. Feel the pain of my walk in my shoes as it call. I hope that you know I wrote you a love song, but I don't do singing, so I called a rose. Renee laid a vocal to take you to space. Now we painting a picture of love with a stroke and musical notes. I want you to feel my emotions while serenaded from the ghost. Now that you hold all my thoughts, let me lay you back, take your mind down to the dark that I know.